Our next cast member is Talon's sister, Jaicey.
That was the first time I've heard my brother's voice in a while. So, this is gonna be interesting. So bear with me. Losing my brother was the hardest thing I had to go through. I almost lost him to suicide, and that was scary. And then I lost him in the car accident. And I watched my life go into a downward spiral of a lot of pain and anxiety. And before I go on and say anything else, I just want to say, whether you choose to punch your ticket or not, at the end of the day, there's still pain, and that's the reason why I'm here today. It's because I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. On Thanksgiving Day, my brother got into a car accident, and my 2 little sisters were in that car with him. And when I got the phone call that there had been an accident, my mom was in the middle of dyeing my hair brown. My siblings asked me to go with them to Thanksgiving. My parents are divorced. My brother said, "No, I got this. Take him out to Thanksgiving." He just got his license. He was really excited about it. And they asked me to come with them. I said, "No, I'm getting my hair dyed. I'm helping out here." So that's my survivor's guilt, you know? Because that one time I messed up and I chose myself over my siblings because I told myself, all growing up, my job is to protect them. And it was because of that one mess up that has changed my paradigm and the way I look at life and the way I look at the people I love. It's changed everything. After I lost my brother, I went and I saw a psychiatrist. I had the best support system already, but I couldn't have thought of a better idea than to put my mental and emotional health into the hands of a trained professional. And so I went to a psychiatrist where I was loaded up with an ungodly amount of prescription medications that probably could have killed me one day. And my friends and my family saw a dramatic shift in my personality. I was on antidepressants, anxiety medication, ADHD medication, sleeping medication, and all of it combined, I was taking over 400 milligrams of medications a day. I was losing weight, I was looking sickly, I was scattered, I was flippant, I was mean, I wasn't who I was. On top of that, on top of the PTSD, and on top of grieving. After 6 months of this, I became a liability to my employers, and I was let go because I couldn't sleep. I was showing up late because there was an excuse for everything, but it all traced back to my medications. And after I had lost my job, I lost my insurance, and so I had to cold turkey all of those medications. Something you're not supposed to do. And I had to learn the hard way that you don't get to control the chemicals that are in your brain. My withdrawals were something intense. I remember the first withdrawal happened on Mother's Day, a curse and a blessing because it was my mom's first Mother's Day without Talon. I started feeling really sick. My bones were achy. I could feel them grinding against each other. My eyes started to turn yellow. My lips were blue. My fingertips were blue. I was sweating. And I got really exhausted. I thought I was dying. Everything in my body hurt. I would see stars. It was the worst thing I've ever had to go through since my brother passed away. And I had 4 more following that. And it all reached a climax when I was driving home, and I had a seizure while I was driving, where I had to pull over to the side of the road and call my roommate, say I need help, So I lost my job, and I had lost my home because I burned bridges with my family, because I wasn't who I was. I was homeless, I was unemployed, and I was withdrawing. And I went through this over the course of 8 months, and it's almost been a year without my brother now. It's hard to believe. And a lot of people say, well, how did you get through it? I started in here. I started building a relationship with myself first. A lot of meditation. A lot of reflecting on who I am and where I want to be. I set goals, because it's a weird feeling to feel obligated to be alive. Because before my brother passed away, I couldn't imagine a day, I couldn't imagine it going without a day of talking with him. And it's been a year since I hugged him goodbye for the last time. Last thing I said to my brother was, goodbye, I love you, drive safe, bring me back leftovers from Grandma's. On top of meditation, I find a lot of expressive outlets, like poetry, like art, like singing. And I spent a lot of time writing in my love journal. I have a journal that I write everything that I love in, for those days that I feel really down about myself, where I feel like the whole world is against me all over again. And I date it at the top, so I can remember the days and the times that I felt so overwhelmed with love. I write my favorite people in there. I write things that make me happy. I write songs in there, even if it's just a beautiful day outside, There's ways to get through things, and it's not always going to be easy, but life is only 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. And for a long time, I was reacting very poorly to what life had given me. And I didn't choose this reality. I would never choose this reality, but I'm doing the best with what I got. That's really all you can do. And there's one thing that got me through this. I would say it's the majority of what got me through this. When my brother died, I kept waking up at 3:23 in the morning, every morning, up until his funeral. And it was weird because I'd sit up in my bed and look at the clock. It said 3:23. And so I pressed for an answer, and I pressed for some sort of meaning behind it, and I found Angel 3:23. And I want to share it with you guys, because maybe you need to hear it too. But what it says is to maintain faith in the process of the universe and trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be at this time. Reality is continuously changing, shifting, and evolving into new experiences. The easier you can fully accept change, the quicker your soul can find balance and peace in the present moment. Have faith and trust that your present course is the right one for you and is in line with your soul mission and life purpose. So I like to take that and internalize it in times that I'm feeling down. Because no one knew me better than my brother. And I knew that message was for me. I'm going to end my speech with my brother's quote. Life isn't hard. He didn't know how important this would be to me. He didn't know how important this quote was going to be to me one day. Life isn't hard. The trials that come with life are. And life has its storms, but there's a rainbow after every storm. You just have to be willing to brave the storm first. Thank you.